What's going on, everybody? This is Justin with Me, Myself, and Dice, and if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We do solo playthroughs of board games and other board game related content, and we've got some cool stuff planned coming up for the holidays and into 2022. We have passed 1,000 subscribers, and thank you to everyone in this wonderful community that has made this happen. I celebrate you guys and the wonderful, warm community that you guys have helped me build. So we have some cool stuff coming up, so if you're not a part of the community, definitely hit that subscribe button. Tap that bell icon so that you don't miss some of the special videos we have coming up, including a channel update and a giveaway. But enough about that. Today we're talking about World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, a pandemic system. That's a lot to say, but this is basically World of Warcraft pandemic. So let's just get down to the table, explain how to play, and jump right in. Welcome down to the table, everyone, where we are setting up for a game of World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, a pandemic system, which I typically just call Pandemic Wrath of the Lich King or Pandemic WoW. We are going to go through setup, and if you're not interested in setup, I'll leave a timestamp in the description below. You can skip ahead, but since setup is kind of important with understanding what's going to happen in this game, I thought I would walk through it. Now, the first thing that we're going to want to do is grab heroes. Now, we are doing a solo game, and there are a ton of heroes in this game. For a solo game, you play 3 characters, but only 1 hand of cards, which I really kind of like that system. So I've shuffled these up. There are favorites that you'll recognize from Hearthstone and from WoW, and maybe even back to some of the Warcraft games. We're going to pick Thrall, Sylvanas Windrunner, and Tyrion Fording. Looks like the 3 that we get. These 4, Lady Liadrin, Bronzebeard, Jaina Proudmoore, and Varian Wren are going back to the box. So every game is going to be a little different if you pick these randomly. Now you'll notice that on a hero you have usually 2 abilities. These are special abilities each one has. You have their health down here, and typically you have a little slider that you keep up with their health. It's a tad bit fiddly, so we are going to use some countdown dice just so we can see it a little better and have a little less fiddliness in this playthrough. And on the back you have some nice flavor text telling you about each hero. You have their miniature, which makes it easy to find in the sea of white plastic, and you have their starting location. We'll set that up in just a few minutes. Let's set these aside for now. The next thing we want to do is set up our hero deck. We have our heroes picked. We're going to start setting up our hero deck. So we need to pull the 6 Scourge Rises. There's 6 in normal difficulty, the 3 Stronghold cards, and this deck of cards. I've already shuffled it up, and we need to first deal ourselves 4 cards from this. We'll just deal those face down for right now. 4 right there. And then we need to make, for normal difficulty, 6 stacks. 3, 6, and we keep dealing these out, and if there is an uneven number, it's okay. This needs to be the tallest stack, this needs to be the smallest stack. It just so happens after you deal those 4 cards out, these are going to be even. So we finished dealing out our cards to the hero deck, and we now need to add the 6 Scourge cards. So 1 goes on top of each deck, and then we take the 3 Stronghold cards, and 1 goes on top of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd leftmost decks. So none are in the bottom parts of the decks. These are very powerful cards that we're looking forward to. Next, we're going to start at the bottom and give these a nice, good shuffle, and lay those back down. And after we have finished shuffling those, we're going to take the leftmost deck and we're going to just stack them like this so that those first 3 stacks are going to be on top, and this is our hero deck. We're going to place it right here at the bottom of the board, and we have a place to discard right here. Next, we need to grab the cards with this back. There are 9 of these cards. We shuffle them out, and without looking at them, we draw 3. The rest go back to the box. And then we place these 3 on each of the 3 quest spaces. Face down, these are rewards we get for completing a quest. And speaking of quests, we need to grab all of the quest cards. There are 3 in each color. These are shuffled up. So we're just going to take 1 random of each color. And this just changes the game each time you play it. It makes it a little different. And these will go back to the box with the rest of these cards without looking at them. We take the quests and we flip them over and place them in their proper spaces matching their color. So we have Vault of Archivon, we have Wormrest Temple in purple, and we have Gundark in green. The name of these correspond with a space on the board. So we need to find those spaces and put the corresponding marker. So Gundark is going to be right here. Wormrest Temple is here, and Vault of Archivon is there. Now the last quest is going to be the one for the Lich King. It's always the same, but we're going to place it down, face down over here beside the Scourge track. The Scourge track, we need the marker to start at the leftmost space. We need to set up the Despair track. We have this marker here, and that's going to go at the top of this track. We have these 3 little markers here. They start at the top of each quest and track our progress there. We have our stash of ghouls that we're going to place to the side right now. We have 3 lovely Abominations. These are fantastic figures. We're going to set those to the side as well. We have the 3 Stronghold standees. We're going to set those aside for later. We make sure we gather the 2 dice. And we have our Lich King, which we're going to take care of him in just a minute. And we have the Ice Crown Citadel, which you start off like this. I'm going to not play with this just because I think from top down it's easier to see with the art, and the art is fantastic. We may bring this back in later. We'll see. The last thing we want to grab is the Scourge deck. These are all of the places on the map. We have shuffled those up very well, and this is going to help start populating our map and give us the most trouble throughout the game. And this is where the setup differs a little from your traditional Pandemic games, just a little bit. So we draw the first card off the deck. It is Terrace of the Makers, and we're going to do several things. First of all, we're going to look at the color. Find the Lich King, this wonderful model, and there are 3 spaces on the board for the Lich King. The Lich King never occupies a space. Really, he occupies kind of a whole region. So we're going to match it up with the green region and place him right there. Then we're going to look at the actual place, and there is an overview map and then a closer map so you can find it if you're not familiar. We are looking right here. We're going to place 3 ghouls. So these little tiny itsy bitsy ghouls, 3 of those are going into Terrace of the Makers. That's our first card down. We draw a second card, and we're going to put 3 more ghouls in Wormrest Temple. Wormrest Temple is one of our quest spots, so that's fortunate, maybe unfortunate, who knows. We'll see as we go along. We will discard those first 2 cards, and then we'll draw 3 more cards and add 2 ghouls to each space. We have Drakthon Keep, Asjol Nerub, and Grizzlemaw. And it's been a long time since I've played World of Warcraft, so if I butcher any of these names, well, I mean, they're made up anyway. So you'll just have to forgive me. So we put 2 in Grizzlemaw right there. We put 2 more right next door in Drakthron Keep. And then 2 in the red area at Asjol Nerub. These get discarded. We then draw 3 more cards, and we do the same thing, this time with 1 ghoul in each. We have Valgard, Warsong Hold, and Argent Tournament. Warsong Hold is right here. Argent Tournament is up here. And Valgard is way down here in the bottom corner. Looks like Purple is kind of our biggest area of this game. We discard these. And lastly, we draw one more card, and we're looking for Onslaught Harbor here. We're going to place an Abomination in that area. Onslaught Harbor is right there. We discard this card, and we are set up for the game. Our first hero starts at Vengeance Landing right there. Thrall starts at Warsong Hold right down here. And we have Tyrion starting at the Breach right there. We flip these over and place them in the order that I want them to go in. I think first, second, third. I'm going to place these over here beside the Despair track. We need to give them a starting player marker. This just helps us keep up with what character we are currently using. Then we can give them their starting health. She has 6. Thrall has 7, and Tyrion has 8. We have our starting hand of 4 cards, and we are ready to rock and roll. We are done with setup, and if you skipped ahead to this point, welcome back. We are trying to defeat the Lich King, and to do that, we have to complete the 3 quests on the board before we can even enter the Ice Crown Citadel. Once we do that, we can take on the Lich King head-on by completing this very long quest. During this whole time, there's going to be more and more ghouls coming out onto the board. There's going to be abominations who stalk us. We're going to take damage and build strongholds and try not to die, mostly because of this despair track. If this despair track ever gets down to the bottom, we immediately lose. We'll talk about how that happens as we go along, but let's just dive in. We start with a hand of 4 cards, and playing solo we play 3 characters and we only have 1 hand of cards. And our cards are multi-use. They can do different things. We have ones that aid us in fight, one that gives us a free heal action, and one that can give us a little bit of defense as we go along. We have our handy dandy reference sheets over here, and on each turn, I'll put this on the screen, we're going to do 4 actions. We're going to draw 2 hero cards after we do our 4 actions from the hero deck. Then we're going to spawn our ghouls and activate any abominations that are on the board. And it does remind us down here on this player turn aid that our hand limit is always 7 at all times. Also put this up, we have our list of free actions and what different things can do. So we're starting with Sylvanas Windrunner. Now these are not part of the game itself. These are tokens that I use just to keep track of actions, and I have 4 here. So Sylvanas, we're going to keep track of her actions. She has 2 special abilities. One, for an action, we can fight on a connected space as if we were on that space, and then we don't suffer damage like we would in a melee style fight. And then when she has another ability, more of a passive, during your own actions, whenever you play a fight or a defend card, heal 1, and I often forget about that one, so we'll try not to. So let's start off with Sylvanas right here. She's in Vengeance Landing. She has 4 actions, and I think for the first action, let's go ahead and use her special ability. That means that we're going to fight on an adjacent area, but we don't have to move there first. So let's try to take out this little ghoul down here in Valgard without having to move there and waste an action. So that's going to cost us 1 action. We take these dice. These dice have several things on them. We have a fist is a success, a shield is a defense. We're trying to roll successes. Nothing really bad happens on these dice. So we're aiming here. We're looking for just 1 success. We got 2. We took him out, no problem. For her second action, let's go ahead and move into Grizzlemaw. And for her third action, we can only do that ranged attack once per turn. So let's do a melee style attack. We're going to roll here. And we got 1 success and 1 shield. So that means that we take out one ghoul. After that, we then suffer any damage, 1 damage for every blue figure remaining there. So if there were 2 ghouls, we would suffer 2 damage. If there were a ghoul and an abomination there, we would suffer the same amount, 2 damage. Another option we have is before we start taking that, we could have played a fight card. It would have given us a +1 fight on our space, meaning that we would have taken that ghoul out, and then we would have taken no damage at all. But since we rolled a shield, let's just keep the card. One thing to note is if the Lich King is in this region where you fight, he adds +1 to the damage you take. So he is kind of overseeing everything, hovering back as a general, and you'll take extra damage. Right now he's in the green area, so that's not going to affect that battle. She has 1 action left. I think we'll go ahead and move one more time, trying to get to this quest over here. Let's move here so that we can maybe take care of that next turn. That is all of her turns, so the next thing we do is we draw 2 cards off the hero deck simultaneously. We get another +1 fight. You can see there's a 1 in that corner. And a defend. Defends are always prevent 2 damage. Those go into our hand. And then we look up here at the Scourge track and we spawn ghouls. So we're looking here, we draw 2 Scourge cards. We get Frosthold and the Breach. You do draw these one at a time, but for filming purposes, it's easier just to draw them together. So Frosthold and the Breach. Frosthold is here, we add 1 ghoul, and the Breach is right here. We're going to add 1 ghoul, and we discard these cards. Next, we activate the Abomination, and he's looking for the closest hero. So 1, 2 to get there, 1, 2, 3 to get to this one. So he's going to move 1 towards the nearest hero. If he ends his turn in the hero's space, he does 1 automatic damage to that hero. So he's going to start stalking Thrall. That's it for Sylvanas' turn. Now it's time for Thrall. I think for Thrall's first action, he wants to move to try to confront this Abomination. And for his second action, we're going to attack. So we roll the 2 dice. We get, 3 successes. And wouldn't you know it, an Abomination takes 3 hits to kill off. So he is gone. Now, there are only 3 Abominations in the game if ever we need to place an Abomination and can't, or for that fact, if we ever need to place any ghouls and can't, we move the despair marker down on the track that many spaces. So if I needed to place 2 ghouls and could not because I was out, then this would move down 2 and it would rush towards the end. At the same time, if our hero deck ever runs out and we need to draw cards and we can't, then instead of shuffling it back for every card we can't draw, this moves down very quickly. The same way, if we ever have a spot that has 3 ghouls in it and we need to add 1, it becomes overrun. In normal Pandemic, you would look for the connecting spaces and add 1 there and it would spread out. In this game, instead, you add an Abomination and you drop the despair track marker down by 1. So there's a lot of ways for the despair track to try to get us, and we are really on a ticking time clock. So he has done 2 actions. Let's go ahead and do a 3rd action, moving him to this space where our Vault of Archivon quest is, and let's do our first quest action. So down here we have our quest. Thrall is on this quest. The Vault of Archivon is where it's at. We have our track here we're trying to get through. It goes kind of zigzag vertically. We have any special conditions. During this quest here, cancel 1 rolled shield. And then the quest does damage. And if the Lich King is in this area, which he's not, he's in the green area, it does 1 additional damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for this quest, and we get 3 successes. We also can show a card matching a symbol, only 1 per turn, so we could show 1 to get a success off of that if it matches. Well, I have no travel cards, which are these green boots. So in any order, we can do this. We have 3 successes, so 1, 2, 3. But we do have a defend card, so I'm going to show that. We don't have to discard it, and we get to move one more. Now, we cancel any shields rolled here. Shields can take off damage just like they do in battles, and it's going to do 3 damage to Thrall. He's at 7 health, but I think I'm going to play one of my defend cards. It's going to prevent 2 damage to a hero on my space. We put that in the discard pile. He's only going to take 1. He's down to 6. So that's all of his actions. We draw 2 more cards, and we get our first Scourge Rises card. So we take care of that first and foremost. Scourge Rises just outlines exactly the steps you go through. This is a kind of an interrupt. So we advance the Scourge track marker. That moves up. We're still drawing 2 cards. Next, we take, and instead of drawing from the top, Pandemic style, we draw from the bottom, and we're going to add 3 ghouls there. We drew the Nexus, so 3 ghouls will go into the Nexus spot. 1, 2, 3. They get tangled up in the little box. And we spawn an Abomination in the Nexus spot as well. So they keep coming back onto the board and stalking us, but unlike an Overrun, it does not move the Despair tracker. We then need to look at the color, and the Lich King will then move to that region. So he is going to go out of the green region, which I think is pretty good, come to the red. However, with that being said, that's going to add a +1 damage here and make that a lot more deadly. We then discard this into our Scourge deck discard, and then we shuffle this whole deck. We'll place that right on top of the draw deck, and we have gone through our Scourge Rises card. We can discard that up here. We then continue our turn drawing cards for the Scourge track. So we draw 2. We have Argent Tournament, and we have Drakthron Keep. Argent Tournament, of course, is right here. Drakthron Keep is down here, nicely situated. Then we have activate the Abomination. There's only 1 space he can go here, and it looks like he's going to be still stalking Thrall. Moving our marker down, we are giving Tyrion his first turn. His special ability is when he fights, we can treat any number of shields as fists instead. He can also, as an action, this is kind of his passive is kind of up top. As an action, he can move another hero up to 2 spaces. Anywhere on the map, he can move them. So my plan was to maybe move him this way and get her going this way. Maybe we'll stick with that. So remembering his special ability, he can move himself up to 2 spaces. So for 1 action, he's going to move 2 spaces to get to the terrace. And then for his second action, he's going to fight here and try to clear this out. So he's going to roll the dice. He gets 1 success. He can treat this as a success. So let's do that. We'll take out 2 ghouls, but that means he doesn't have the shield, and he's going to take 1 damage. That's completely fine. He'll go from 8 to 7 health. Now, although he can move 2 spaces with his special ability for 1 action, I think I'm going to use a travel card instead. This will allow him to move 2 spaces, but it's a free action. There are 2 travel cards. There is 2 space and a 4 space. Let's go ahead and use this because I have 6 cards in hand and you can only ever have 7. So let's go ahead and spin that. So this will move him to right here, and he can now quest. He's doing the Gundark quest, and during this quest, you roll 1 fewer dice. So that means that he's only rolling 1. So this will be his 3rd action, and he gets 1 success. We also have a heal that we can show, so he can move 2 spaces. He also takes 2 damage here, and I think that we're just going to let him take it. That means he's going down from 7 to 5. For his last action, we're going to go ahead and quest again. He gets 2 successes. We can use that heal again. So 1 for the heal card, and then 2 successes will get that there. And he's going to take 2 damage, but we can defend, prevent 2 of that damage using this card and discarding it. It gets us down to 4 in hand. We draw 2 cards, a 4 space travel and a 2 space travel. So that was probably a good call. And in that fight, I probably should have used this +1 to my fight. I just slipped my mind. Oh well, we'll live with it. We're drawing 2 new cards. We have Grizzlemaw and the Nexus, each get 1. Grizzlemaw is down here, and the Nexus has 3 in it already, so there is our first overrun. That means that we put an Abomination there, and we move the Despair track down by 1. Not off to a good start. So Abominations activate. He's going to move probably that way. He's going to move this way. And we can move this back till Sylvanas' turn. And we look here. I really would like to get her to start on this Wormrest Temple quest, but I feel like we should take advantage of her ability and clear out this while we're here, so we don't have to kind of worry about this area for a little while. So let's do that. For her first action, we're going to come over or shoot from here to here. So she's going to make her attack. She gets a whopping 3 and a shield. Of course, she won't do that. Now that we're going to take our second action and fight right here. Oh, well, 3. Look at that. 3, and she'll take no damage from that. Let's use a free action here to move any hero up to 2 spaces. This means we're going to move her over to here. And for her third action, I think we're going to go ahead and fight. We can roll some dice and hopefully clear this out. We get 3 successes. Fantastic. And then our final action is going to be to quest at the Wormrest Temple. This is going to be, or so far has been, a good turn. I don't want to jinx myself. We do have a heal card and a travel card. So let's see. We get 2 successes, 1, 2. We'll show that heal card for here. And I think that's all we have. It says after each quest action here, 1 hero on this space discards a card. So we're going to have to discard a card from our hand. We have 3 of these 1 fist fight cards. Let's just go ahead and discard 1 of those. That takes us down to 4 cards at the end of her turn. We can draw. We get another heal and a 2-spot travel. Fantastic. We're drawing 2 cards from up here. We get Asjal Nerub and Valgard. Asjal Nerub is filling up quickly, and Valgard is fine down here. Hopefully we won't have to worry about the purple for a while. The Abominations are going to move. They're closest, of course, to him, and this one will move this way. That means that Thrall is going to take 1 damage, going down from 6 to 5. And remember, the Lich King is here, but he doesn't add anything whenever the Abominations move. And before we move completely off her turn, we forgot to do the 2 damage that she's supposed to take. I'm not going to block any of it. We're just going to take her down from 6 to 4. And then we move on to Thrall's turn. Now, Thrall is in a lot of trouble here. I would really like to quest with him, but I think we need to do some fighting. So let's go ahead and try to take out this dude right here. Remember, we need 3 hits for an Abomination, and we get 1. Oh, that's not good. This Abomination is going to do 1 damage back to us, but another one for the Lich King that's in the area. We do block 1 damage, so he's going to go down from 5 to 4. Let's go ahead and spend a second action to do that again, hopefully with better results. No, exact same results. Oh, man. I think we're going to, I didn't want to play 2 of these. I was hoping to only play 1, but let's go ahead and play 2 fight cards. That's going to allow us to knock him out. We did roll a shield, so we're not going to have to take the Lich King's bonus damage. Let's go ahead and do a heal action. This is a free action, and it allows us, when we play the card, to do a heal on a quest space. So we roll 2 dice, and we heal the number of successes. This is going to give us a +1 to our heal as well. So we're going to heal 3. So he is back up to 7, which is his full health. This gets discarded. I think we're going to quest now that we have full health. We'll roll these dice, and we get 2 successes. So we come down here, we have 2 successes, 1, 2. Unfortunately, we had to use, this is why I didn't want to use 2, we had to use our attack card, and we didn't have a defend card, so we're out of luck on that. Now we need to take damage. We have 3, the Lich King is here, so that's 4. We don't have any defend cards, and we rolled no shields, so he's going to go from 7 back down to 3. I don't think we can afford to quest again here. He's going to take a hit if we move, if we don't move away from him. And the only place we could move would be to River's Heart to avoid him. This is tough. I think what I want to do is play this free action travel card. It's a travel 4 spaces for free. 1, 2, 3. We'll go over here to the Nexus and try to take out this. So for his final action, he's going to battle here. 3, we take out 3. We still take 1 damage from the Lich King being in this region. So that brings him down to 2 health, which is terrible. So this is a good time to talk about what happens when our heroes get down to 0 health. They immediately lose the rest of their turn. They have to go back to their original starting space, and we move the despair tracker down the track by 1. So we really don't want to lose any heroes if possible. That's just a bad way to gain despair. That being said, let's draw 2 cards. We get a Stronghold card and a Fight card. Stronghold is the other play immediately card, and I've been waiting for this one. So the Stronghold card comes out, and we immediately get to place a Stronghold anywhere on the map that doesn't have one, and we can't place it on the Ice Crown Citadel. So this is going to accomplish a couple things. 1, we get a +1 to our heals at the Stronghold, and we open up a new action. For 1 action, we can take a flight path and fly straight to any of the 3 strongholds once we have them all out. So wherever we put this, we can use 1 action and fly to it. This is going to help our mobility a lot. We also can't place it on a place with a quest, which is where I would prefer to place it right now. So maybe we place it on River's Heart. That'll take care of maybe over here in the red, and then maybe up here somewhere in the green, and over here for the purple, just to be able to cover the map. This gets discarded out of the game immediately. We draw 2 new cards. We get Wormrest Temple and the Breach. The Breach is right here, and Wormrest Temple is down here where our quest marker is. As we move, we have 3 cards in hand. We're going to go to Tyrion. Now, Tyrion is already in a quest space, and this is a hard quest as it is, so we may need to take advantage of this while the Lich King is not there. We roll 1 die. This is his first action. We get 1 success. Now, he can only convert the shields during a battle. 1 success. We do have a fight card, so that will give us 2 successes. This does 2 damage to him, so he's going to go down from 5 to 3. I think he's going to take another action to do this as well. 2 successes, that's fantastic. We do have a travel card we can reveal, so that we can do that first, and then 2 successes right here. So we are speeding through that one pretty well. He's going to take 2 damage. That's going to take him down to 1 health. I did forget to move the Abomination while we were in the last turn, so let's move that right there. And I do this because I am going to spend an action to move Tyrion from here all the way, taking a flight path to there. And then his final action is going to be a heal action. So let's roll 2 dice. We get 3, and because we're at a stronghold, we get a +1. So he gets to gain 4 health, bringing him back out up to 5 out of 8. Not terrible. And hopefully my idea with that is not only to heal, but this abomination is equidistant to the heroes, and when it's equidistant, we get to pick. So now we can pull the abomination away from picking on Thrall. Let's draw 2 cards. We get a fight card and a defend card. So we have 1 of each card type in our hand. That's handy for doing quests. Drawing 2 cards from here, we get Warsonghold and Frosthold. Frosthold gets his second ghoul, and Warsonghold is going to get a ghoul, and this abomination is going to activate. We're going to move it here, and he takes a damage, bringing him from that 5 back down to 4. Going back to Sylvanas' turn, I really think that it's worth moving 1 for an action, and then doing her special ability to try to clear this out. So let's roll some dice, and hopefully we can take 3 out. We took 2. I don't want to use, well, maybe I do want to use a fight card, because then that would heal her and save an action. So let's do that. So that was more than enough to kill off those, and whenever we play that, she heals for 1, bringing her back up to 5 out of 6, which isn't bad. We're then going to take a third action to move here, and her 4th action will be to quest. We're questing here, and we roll. We get 2 successes. We have a heal card, so we can move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And we have to discard a card, and I think it's going to be the defend card. I hate to do it. Then she's going to take 2 damage. That brings her health back down to 3. That's all of her actions, so let's draw 2 cards. We get another defend and a heal. That's fantastic. Going into Thrall's turn, I'm going to need that. Let's draw 2 more cards. We have Terrace of the Makers and Onslaught Harbor. Terrace of the Makers is right there with his second. And Onslaught Harbor is up here in the northwest. Abomination is going to attack, and he's going to go down from 4 to 3. Moving into Thrall's turn, I think we're going to use a movement card so he can travel 2, 1, 2. That's discarded, and then we're going to use one of our 2 heal cards in this area. That means he's going to get a +2 to his heal. So let's roll the dice for that. He gets 2 successes plus the 2. He's going up 4. So that means he's back up to 6 out of his 7 health. That was a free action. That's discarded. So he hasn't technically taken an action yet. Let's go ahead and take 1 action to fight this abomination and get it out of the way. We get 1 success. We can use a fight card to get the other 2 successes. He's gone. We do have the Lich King causing 1 damage, but we rolled a shield, so we should be good on that. While we're standing here, we're going to use Thrall's special ability, which is called Chain Lightning. It says we take 1 of these dice. We pick 3 areas, including the one we're standing on. But we only have 2 to pick from. We roll a die for each area, and we can take out the number of ghouls for successes rolled. So we're going to pick Onslaught Harbor. We don't get any there, but Warsonghold, we get 1 success. We get to take out 1 ghoul. And then we don't have the 3rd because we are just not in a populated area. We probably would have done better up here, but I thought that was a good way to try to at least take care of some of that so we can focus on the quest. That being said, let's move him here, and his 3rd action will be to quest. So we're questing at the vault and the Lich King's here, we get 1 success. And we do have a heal icon, so we can move up 2. We cancel any or 1 rolled shield, so that's not going to be very helpful. Lich King is going to add that to a 4. That's going to leave him at a 2 health. If I can find it. There it is, 2 health. Now I could play a heal on him, but there are no Abominations out, so I'm going to take my chances that that 2 health is going to be still around next turn. We come over here and draw 2 cards. We get a Scourge and another heal. I may have spoke too soon. Second Scourge card, we move that to 3. We're now drawing 3. Remember, we draw the bottom card, and it's going to be Valiant's Keep. Valiant's Keep is way down here. We're adding 3 ghouls to this area. 1, 2, 3. The Lich King is going to stay in the red area, which kind of stinks. And I did speak too soon. We are putting an Abomination, but at least it'll take 2 turns to get there. We, of course, add this to our discard pile and shuffle that up. Add that back to the discard pile, and continuing on with the turn, we draw 3 cards. So we have Warsong Hold gets 1, Drakthorn Keep gets 1, and the Nexus gets 1. Drakthorn Keep's right here. Warsong Hold, good thing we used the lightning ability there, and good thing we cleared out the Nexus last turn. Abomination is going to move, and it has a path to go 1, 2 to here, or 1, 2 to here. Since it's equidistance, we get to choose. I typically would send it this way, but I think here is the better option. No, we'll send it this way, I think. Moving from Thrall's turn, we go to Tyrion, and he is at 3 health. So we're going to play, since we have a couple heal cards, we're going to play 1 on him. This will give him that +2 heal. And it looks like he needs it because he only gets 1 success. So he's going from 3 to 6, which is not terrible, but it's not great either. There's 6. So that is not an action, but that is discarded. He's going to take an action to move 1 space here. And then he's going to quest. So down here, he's going to quest. We do have a heal icon, so we're probably going to use that first. Whoops. Oh, but he gets 3 successes. So we'll use this heal icon, and then 3 successes. 1, 2, 3. That is great. Only 1 more. Now, we would cancel any shields we rolled. We didn't roll any. He's going to take 3, 4 damage, but I think I'm going to play the defend card and prevent 2 of that. So he'll take 2, which takes him down to 4. That's discarded. Now, Thrall's other ability is if he's in the same region as a character questing, he can add another card. So we could play actually 2 cards instead of 1. Unfortunately, it was not the right symbol combination for that to happen, but we can keep that in mind whenever we haven't split them up into 3 different areas. Now, I don't have, because this cancels a shield, I think I'm going to go ahead and play this heal card. We can play this on the quest space, and that's just so this 4 damage right here doesn't kill him off. I don't want to deal with the despair on completing quest. So we get 2 heals plus 1, that's 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7. He's back up to almost full health. And then his third action, this is discarded, we have no cards in hand. His third action is going to be to complete this quest, hopefully. Oh, he didn't roll any successes. No. That's terrible. I've actually never had that happen. Well, one of these is canceled. It's going to do 4 damage to us, -1. So 3, 7, 6, 5. So we're at 4 health again. Oh, what to do? As much as I hate to say it, I think we don't finish this quest. I don't want to lose a hero. So I think we will take an action and move him back to River's Heart. Yeah. That was a bummer of a final 2 actions. Ah, I can't believe that. Okay. So we're going to get 2 new cards. We get a Defend and a Travel. We are flipping 3 cards. We have Frosthold, Wormrest Temple, and Valguard. Frosthold is on the brink. Valguard has a second one. Wormrest Temple gets its second one. Alright, we have Sylvanas up. I really don't want to quest here because that is going to discard cards. I'd like to build my hand up just a little bit more. So I think we're going to take an action to move her. We're going to take an action to do her special ability, and we are going to try to take care of this area right here. So let's roll some dice. We get 4 successes. Let's take an action to heal. She gets 1 healing. That brings her back up to 4. Then we are going to play this movement card and move her here for 2. Now I did forget to move the Abomination last time. We would have moved him here, and he would have taken 1 damage, bringing him from 4 to 3. Can't forget the Abominations. Speaking of which, we're drawing 2 cards. We get another Stronghold and a Fight. So looking out here, I want to place a Stronghold probably right here maybe. 1, 2, 3 from there. 2 to there. Or we could place it right there. Kind of with where these are congregating, that may not be the worst idea. Or we can go ahead and place it down here and have this be our gateway. That's not terrible either. It's only 2 from here and 2 from here. Let's do that. So that's discarded out of the game. Drawing 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3. We have Terrace of the Makers, which is okay. Argent Torment and Asjol Nerub. So Argent Torment's got 3 in it now. So does Terrace of the Makers. And we are right there. Ghoul's going to join us. He's following us around. We go to Thrall's turn, and I need to finish him questing, but he also needs to heal. Well, he can't afford to take... He only has 2 health, so he can't afford to take damage. So let's move 1. That's 1 action. And then we're going to do his Chain Lightning ability, and we're going to pick 1, 2, and 3. We roll 1 die for each, so let's start with Warsong Hold. We can take out 1 ghoul. Let's go to Asjol. We get a 2, and I really like that to be Vigilance Keep. I think I keep calling it Vigilance. Oh yeah, nice. All right, so that was spectacular. His third action is going to be to heal. Let's roll 2 dice. He gets 1 success. That's 1 heal. So he's back up to 3. I think we have to take another action, his last one, to heal again. We get 2 successes. That brings him up to 5. We're drawing 2 cards to our hand, a travel and a travel, both 2 spaces. 3 more cards on deck. 1, 2. We have the Breach, Valiant's Keep. I think I keep calling it 3 different names. Valiance, Vigilance, I don't know. It's Valiant's Keep. Valiant's Keep, the Breach, and Onslaught Harbor. So Valiant's Keep right here. Onslaught Harbor here. And the Breach, we really have to take care of this stuff up here, because I feel a Scourge card coming very soon, and with 3 about ready to bust, we're in trouble. It's now Tyrion's turn, and he is at 3 health. I think we might as well take care of this dude while we're here. We get 2. We can convert that to a 3rd, but I think instead we're going to play a fight card. That'll give us our 3 fists. Takes out the Abomination. And we can still use that shield to block the damage coming in from the Lich King. That's discarded. Second action, we're going to heal while we're here. We don't have any cards to do that with, but we can heal 2 plus 1 is 3. So he's back up to 6 out of 8. Let's go ahead and move him here, and we'll quest for his last action, and that is 3 successes. We only need 1. So we're down here, we get that 1 success. He does take 4 damage though. We can defend against 2 of it, so he's going to take 2, bringing him down from 6 to 4. Discard this card, and we have completed our first quest. So this is out of the game. We can just flip it over. We can remove the token here. I just put these on the Lich King's quest, kind of as medals to show the progress we've made, and we get a reward. This goes into our hand immediately, and these are the special cards that are very powerful. We have gunship support. Remember, we didn't know what 3 out of the 9 are on here or where they are. Move any hero to any space, then they may fight. So free move to any space, and then they can fight. That's pretty good. Fantastic. So this becomes a normal space now, which means we can heal there and place a keep if we want to, a stronghold, but I'm sure we're not going to. It's too close. 1 action left, I believe. Fight, heal, move. Nope, that was all 4 of his actions. That's why I try to do these little things. So that's all 4 of his actions. And let's draw 2 cards. We get a fight card and a defend card. Pretty good. Everything but a heal card. Still drawing 3 cards from here. We get Cucamel, Amberpine Lodge, all purples. Oh, and Nexramas. So Nexramas is here. Amberpine Lodge, and Cucamel. We're going to Sylvanas' turn, and we're going to use a free movement card to travel 2. 1, 2. We're going to use our first action for her special ability to shoot here. Yeah, I think so. Let's put that here, and we get 3 successes. That's great. Let's use another movement card to move 2. 1, 2. An action to move 3. Now we're going to fight right here. That's probably not the best. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. We get 2 successes. We can use this for a 3rd, and that will heal us from 4 to 5. So there we go. And that will take care of all 3 ghouls. And then for our final action, we will move 1 more towards this quest. Draw some cards. We have defend and travel. I really thought about using this card to help her move around. It would have just saved us some actions, but I really want to save it for later if I can. Still drawing 3 cards. We have Temple of Storms, River's Heart, and Dalaran, which I believe, Dalaran, I believe that one's a new card. Dalaran or Dalaran is right here. Then we have Temple of Storms, and River's Heart is where our stronghold is. Going to Thrall's turn, and I think he's going to use 1 action to move. And then he's going to use an action to do his Chain Lightning here, here, and here. So let's start with the Nexus. We get a hit. Let's go with Warsong Hold. We get hits, and watch us only get a single hit here. Or no hits at all. I jinxed myself. But that helps clear some of that out. Now we can only use that once per turn. Let's use a 3rd action to move from here to here. And then we'll use a travel action to move. I take that back. Let's use 1 action to move from here, taking a flight path, to here. Oops, stay standing. We'll use a travel card to move from there. We can move 2 spaces. I think we're going to move 1, 2. Or we could go 1, 2. I still have 1 action left. I want to fight. I'd like to be here for Chain Lightning. but I could go over here and quest. That's probably the more important thing. Let's do that. 1, 2, and then we can use our last action to either fight or quest. He has 5 health. I really don't want to discard a card, so let's fight. We'll just roll right here, and we get 2 successes, which is what we need. We're in purple, not red, so there's no bonus damage. Fill our hand back up. We get a fight and a travel card. Still drawing 3 cards. We have Shadow Vault, we have Olyudar, and Vault of Archivon. So Shadow Vault is this northern area here. Vault of Archivon is where our quest was. And Olyudar is this northeast territory here. It's Tyrion's turn, and I think we're going to let him travel. Well, let's use the gunship right now, because I think that we're getting ready to have a Scourge card. I feel it, and it's been a while, and that this is getting pretty thick up here. So let's use our gunship. This is a one-time only card. Move the hero to any space, then they may fight. It's out of the game. So we're going to move to this space right here, and we're going to fight. Roll the dice. We get 4 hits. That's great. The Lich King is not there, so we take no damage. That was all a free action. So for his first action, we're going to move. Let's go ahead and fight for his second action. He's gone. For his third action, we're going to move here. And then we're going to fight for his fourth action and just clear all this mess out. We get 1, but he can convert, so he's going to take out both of those. However, he does take 1 from the Lich King. So that brings him from 4 to 3. Thus ends his turn, and we draw 2 cards. We get to defend, and oh, another stronghold. This is good. This is very good. So let's place our final stronghold. I think in this case, maybe the best place is here. Now it looks like it's close to here, and it is. 1, 2, within 2. I could do it here, and that may make it easier. Okay, I think that's a better. I mean, it's still within 2 to here, which seems close, but it's also within 2 to here. Problem is this is 1, 2, 3 to here. If I did 1, 2, 3, this would make it only 2. So maybe we do that, and then it's only 2 to that quest. Let's go ahead and draw 3 cards. We have Temple City, Gundark, and the Avalanche. We are getting really low on this deck. I don't think I've ever gone through this deck quite this thickly. So Gundark is where our quest is. We'll put 1 there. The Avalanche is here, and the Temple City is there. Let's go over to Sylvana's turn. She has 5 health. We're definitely going to move her here, and we're going to quest. We only get to roll 1. Let's do that. She gets 1 success. Let's look at our hand. We have plenty of defense, so let's do a defense, and then 1 success. And she takes 2 damage. She's rolled a shield, so let's just have her take 1 damage. That's 4. That was her first action. Or her second action, I'm sorry. Her third action, let's quest again. Let's try to finish this up. Oh, 2 successes. 1, 2. She's going to take 2, but we're going to defend against it. And then this quest is done. We can take this quest marker off. Let's put it in our trophy room over here. And we get a new card. We get Argent Crusaders. Anytime, choose a hero, deal 5 damage divided among their space and connected spaces. So similar to Chain Lightning, but we get to allocate the damage. That's fantastic. 2 down, 1 to go. We have one action left. Let's go ahead and take a flight path over here. Now she does, because we played a card, she does get to heal 1, which takes her back from 4 to 5 out of 6. We have 5 cards in our hand, drawing 2. We have a Scourge. I told you it was coming soon. You know, that's one thing about the pandemic games. You can just feel when it's coming. Bring that up here. We move this up. We're still drawing 3. We go to the bottom of the deck, and we have, Utgard Keep. So we know the drill. Utgard Keep's going to get 3 ghouls, an Abomination to stalk us, and the Lich King is moving over here. And isn't that apropos? That's the only place the quest is. So there's Utgard Keep. Put it up here in our very thick discard pile and give this a good shuffle. We add that to our small little pile and we're drawing 3 cards. We have Dalaran as 1, Temple City, and Onslaught Harbor. We have Dalaran there, Temple City, and Onslaught Harbor is up here with our hero. Let's move to Thrall's turn. And we have a good number of cards in our hand, so let's do some questing. We can place our dice tray right here. He has, for reference, 5 health. We do have a fight card we can show. That's great. So let's roll the dice. We get 2 successes. We can do 1, 2. We also have a defense card, so we can go 1 more. It's going to do 2, but the Lich King is here, so 3 damage. Let's go ahead and play a defend card to defend against 2 of that. That means he's only going to take 1, going down to 4. That's his first action. His second action, let's quest again. Let's try to bust through this. We have 2 successes and a shield. Oh, we should have discarded a card. Let's discard a fight card. We have both a defense, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go 1, 2 for our successes, and then we can show the travel card and move like so. All right, we're doing great. It's doing 3 damage to us. Let's go ahead and play another defend card. He's only going to take 1 damage, down to 3. I'd say third action, well, we don't have a defense card. Oh, man. Don't have a defense card. This Abomination should have moved, let's see, the closest one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, so it would have moved there to go towards her. Sorry. It's easy to forget the Abominations. That's the easy to forget part for me. I need to discard another card. Let's discard this fight card here. Let's play the travel card to travel for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play the Argent Crusaders. Deal 5 damage among their space and connected spaces. So let's go 3 here. We have 2 left. Let's go 1 and 1. And then for my final action, we are going to do Chain Lightning. Start with Amberpine Lodge. We get 2 successes. Let's go to Valgard. Get 1 success. And then Utgard Keep. And we get 1 success. That was great. Fantastic. That's all of his actions. He's still at 3 health. We're out of cards. We draw 2. We get a defend and a travel 4. 3 cards from here. We get Avalanche, Oidar, and Argent Torment. Avalanche is here. Argent Tournament is here. And Oidar is way up here. Tyrion's turn, and I really feel like we're ahead of the curve after that last turn. But he's over here, so might as well let him travel and clean up. So let's move for 1 action. Then we're going to fight. Let's see, we can just roll right here. We get 1, we can convert that to a second. Takes no damage because the Lich King is not over there. Let's spend an action to move to here, and our last action to heal. So he's going to get a +1 to his heal, 3, 4. So that brings him up to 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8. That's pretty good. We still have a movement and a defend in our hand. I'm going to try to hang on to that travel. So we get a fight and a defend. 3 cards from here, we get Vault of Archivon, Shadow Vault, and Frosthold. Vault of Archivon's down here, Shadow Vault is here, and Frosthold is there. Sylvanas has her turn, and I think we're going to send her to quest. Maybe I should have used his last action, Tyrion's last action, to move her 2 spaces. Probably would have been a good idea. It's fine. We'll spend an action to travel 1, spend an action to travel 2, spend an action to quest. Let's see what we get. She has 5 health, and we're going to roll 2 successes. We have a 1, 2, and we have a fight card right here. So that means we have finished this. We do have to discard a card. I'm going to discard a defend card. I have 2 of those. So discard that. And then we're going to take 3 damage, so I'm going to discard my other defend to drop that down to 1 damage. She goes from 5 to 4, but she gains 1 because she played that, so back up to 5. So we finished this quest, and that means that all of the quest icons are on the Lich Kings. We unlock this Blessing of Light anytime either each hero heals 2 or 1 hero heals to full. Oh, that's fantastic. So she still has 1 action left, but let's pause because we need to do this. We have used these quests to unlock the final quest, and that is the Icecrown Citadel itself. It is a big, long path to get to the end, and what happens is the Lich King is no longer going to be in one of these areas. We'll place the Citadel back where it was. He actually retreats back to his Citadel. You're supposed to take that out and flip this over so we have a terrace to fight on here. And now we have these 3 lines, 1, 2, and 3. I believe those are the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, coming into the Icecrown Citadel. So now we can enter this area and we can take a quest action. And this is our, us welling away on the boss battle. Otherwise, it acts just like a quest space. We can't heal there unless we use a heal card. And he does add +1 to the damage done here. But otherwise, he is off the board for all intents and purposes. So fights, he's not going to add any bonuses to. So I think let's start moving that way. She'll take her last action to move to there. And we'll hold on to these. We get 2 cards, Travel and another Scourge. So things are heating up. We're still drawing 3 cards. We draw the bottom card off of here, and we have Thrim's End. Thrim's End's here kind of in the top of the purple area. So 3 there, 1 Abomination, and the Lich King doesn't move, so we ignore that part of this. This is a very thin pile to add this to. We're going to shuffle this up, hopefully really well. Although I think we're doing a pretty good job, as long as we don't draw the card that we just pulled. All right, here we go. Drawing 3 cards. We have Frosthold is 1. We're okay there. Dalaran is okay. And Thrim's End. So Frosthold gets 1. Dalaran gets his 3rd. And we can't put 1 here, so we get another Abomination. And the Despair track starts moving up. And this will probably speed up right now as we try to focus on the Lich King. Of course, the Abominations are going to move 1, 2, 3 to here, 1, 2, 3 to there. So let's just split them up. Let's go 1 and 1. Actually, I think I'm going to send him this way. 1, 2, 3. That way we can make it towards a stronghold. That was Windrunner's turn. Let's go to Thrall, and he is at very low health. Let's use a Travel 2 card to get him 1, 2. Let's meet this Abomination head on. And we're going to fight this dude. So that's his first action is to fight. Oh, he rolls 4. Enough to take that out. Enough to take this little ghoul out. And no damage taken here. We want to heal since we're here. Man, I would love to roll that healing. Come on. 2 plus 1 is 3. So he's back up to 6 out of 7. That's not terrible at all. We're going to use this travel card. It's a free travel. Move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. We only need to move 3. And try to start welling on the Lich King. So we'll bring the dice over here. We are going to borrow a marker from there. And we're just trying to buzz through this, and it works just the same way. We have 1 fight card. So let's go ahead and roll. Oh, 3 successes. We can use our fight card. 1, 2, 3. It's going to do 2 damage plus the Lich King's 1 damage. We can shield 1, so we're going to take 2. That means he's down to 4, and he has 1 action left. So he's going to quest again. We get 2 successes, 1, 2. We don't have a heal card, so he's going to shield 1 and take 2, 3, 2. So a lot of this final battle is kind of a hit and run tactic. The Abominations can come up in here and deal us damage. So we want to keep an eye on that. But usually it's do a little damage, run away, heal, come back. So that's why we always want to have a stronghold kind of close by so we can heal. But we luckily have this Blinding Light card, so if we need to use it, we can. We're going to draw 2 cards. We get a travel card and a fight card. Drawing 3 more cards here. This doesn't change. Oidar, Argent Torment, and Shadow Vault. All 3 greens. So Shadow Vault's up to 2. Argent Torment's up to 2. And Oidar is up to 3. Luckily, I think we're well enough on the curve that we can not ignore this, but maybe just hold off on some of this for a little while. We do have to move him. He's going to move here towards her. Tyrion's turn, and we're going to use one of his actions to move 2 spaces. He has 7 health, so let's move him in here. 1, 2. And we can use 2 cards because we have Thrall with us. So let's quest. Move that here. We get 2 successes. 1, 2. We don't have a defense card, unfortunately. What was the other one? Yeah, we don't have a heal card. So just 2, and he does 3 damage. So he's down 7, 6, 5, 4. We're going to use a 3rd action. He moved. He quested. Now he's going to quest again. He gets 1 success. Not great. 1 success. That's only in a fight, again, that he can convert that. He does gain a shield, so he's going to take 2 damage. 3, 2. His last action, he's going to move to here, I think. Drawing 2 more cards. We have 4 in our hand. We get Travel and we get Heal, a heal card. Fantastic. 3 more cards. We get Vault of Archivon, which is going to be full. The Avalanche, which is fine. And Temple City. All 3 red cities. We have Temple City full, the Vault full, and the Avalanche just has 1. Now we have to remember we've only pulled 4 of the 6 Scourge cards up here. So we do need to kind of keep in mind that that can go downhill fast. He's going to move and do 1 damage to her, bringing her from 5 down to 4. We come to Sylvana's turn, and oh boy, let's see. I think let's go ahead and fight while we're here. Let's get rid of this. I don't want it coming into the temple. We get 1 damage, so let's do 2 more. That's 3. That will take him out. And it says when you play a fight card or defend card, heal 1. So I assume that when we played 2, we heal 2. So she's back up to 6. So that's her first action. Her second action, let's just shoot into this area over here just so I don't have to worry about it as much. We take out 2. Third action, we're going to move into here and we're going to quest. So let's bring this over here. We quest, we get 1 success and 1 shield. We don't have a defense card, so it's going to do 2 damage because of 1 shield. So that brings her down to 4. That's her complete turn, 4 cards in hand. Let's go fight. And fight are the 2 cards we draw. Not bad. 3 cards here. We get Onslaught Harbor, Valgard, can't say that, and Asjol. Onslaught Harbor has its second. This has its first. And Valgard, hopefully we don't have to worry about any of this spilling over right now. Abominations, there's none on the board, so we can move on to Thrall's turn. Now Thrall needs a big heal. He cannot quest in his current state. I think we use an action, his first action, to move over here. That's action number 1. Actually, let's take that back. Action number 1, he's going to take a flight path over to here. Okay? His second action is going to use Chain Lightning. He's going to use it 1, 2, 3. So let's start with Temple. He gets 1 success. Let's go with Old You Are. Oh, he gets no successes. And let's do right here. He gets 1 success. That was his second action. While he's here, we're going to play a heal card. We're going to play a heal card. And we're going to heal with a +2. 3, 4, 5. That gets him back up to full health at 7. That's discarded. Third action, we are going to take a flight path back to this temple. Then we're going to use a movement card for a free action to get back into Icecrown Citadel. And he has 1 action left to quest. We're questing over here. We get, oh, nice, 3 successes and a shield. 1, 2, 3. We have a travel card, so we can get a 4th success. He only takes 2 damage. So that means he's down from 7 to 5. That felt like a really good turn. A really good turn. Let's draw 2 more cards. 1 heal and 1 defend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in our hand. But this deck is getting pretty thin. And remember, if we can't draw from this, then every card we can't draw, the despair track moves down. So I think we're moving at a good clip, but always need to keep that in mind. 3 cards from here, we have Nyxramas, Temple of Storms, and Utgard Keep. So here we are, Nyxramas, Temple of Storms, and Utgard Keep. There are no abominations on the board. We're going to move to Tyrion's turn. Let's move Tyrion up here to take care of this. Because, remember, whenever we can't draw, for every one we can't draw, we go down. Just like the cards in our hero deck, and we're getting low on our ghouls. So, let's it's more about repopulating that than having overruns. I'm not really concerned about the overruns. He's going to take his second action to fight. And he gets 2 successes. That's good enough. Well, we do have a fight card. Let's go ahead and use it so we don't have to discard anything. That'll give us our 3rd success. That's discarded. Let's take a flight path all the way back over here. That's 1 action. He has 1 action left. We do have a travel card, but I might need to use it. He only has 2 health, though. Let's go ahead and use a heal on him here. It's going to give him +2 to heal. He gets 1 success. That stinks. So 3 altogether. That brings him up to 5 out of 7. That was a free action. Let's use a travel card. I hate to use a travel card to get back into the Citadel. 1, 2. So everybody's in here, and hopefully we'll roll well. He's at 5 health. We roll 2 successes. 1, 2. We don't have any heal cards left, so he's going to have to take, that's all he gets, and he's going to take 2 damage because he did roll a shield. 4, 3. Drawing 2 cards into our hand, we get a Scourge Rises card and a fight card. Let's take care of this. All right, so we're drawing the bottom card, and Vengeance Landing is going to be the new card. Vengeance Landing is over here. It gets 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, it gets that. And I would say this is a decently thick deck to shuffle up. We have the new deck. We do need to move this. We're now drawing 4 cards, and let's look at what, there's 3. Let's look at what those 4 are. So we have the Avalanche, and we have exactly 4 ghouls. So the Avalanche, we have Frosthold, we have Valgard, and we have Vault of Archivon, but it is already full, so that's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's going to get one of these guys. Our despair marker is going to go down. We're halfway to losing now. These 4 cards get discarded, and of course, these guys are going to move. It's 1, 2, 3 to there, 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, or 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. Let's move him there. This guy's going to move as well. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think this is the fastest way. Going back to Sylvanas' turn. Hopefully we can just do some questing and get it over with. Let's finish this fight. All right, come on. So first questing action is 2 successes. 1, 2. And we have a fight card. In fact, we have 2 fight cards, and Thrall's ability is that we can play a second card. So again, you're not really playing, you're revealing. So we're going to reveal both of those and go up 2 more. 1, 2. These go back to our hand. She takes 2 damage because of the shield. So 4, 3, 2. Let's go ahead and play this card. Each hero healing 2. Meaning she's going to go up to 4, just in case something goes wrong. Thrall's going to go up to full health at 7, and Tyrion's going to go up to 5 out of 8. This is discarded out of the game. Second action, we are going to quest again, and we get 1 success, and again we can show up to 2 cards because of Thrall's ability. So we have completed this. She still takes 3 damage, 2 because she rolled a shield, 3, 2. She is good to go. That means that immediately we have finished this quest and the Lich King is toppled. So that is World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, a pandemic system. And that was probably the best game I've played so far in terms of how I did. Usually I am, if I win, I'm like one away from the end of the despair track. I might have made a mistake or so. It might have been a little further down, but I think I got a little lucky with the Scourge cards. This is our deck that's left, and the last Scourge card is the next to last card. So we actually wouldn't have had to deal with that for a while. So we did get lucky, but you just really need to focus on doing these quests as quickly as possible. As with most pandemic games, you need to kind of balance taking care of the board state and doing whatever you need to do to win the game. So that was Wrath of the Lich King. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go back up top and I'll tell you what I like about the game. And that was World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, a pandemic system, a mouthful. And this is just a really fun game. I like the system in this game. If I were to pick, I have to put Fall of Rome kind of out of this because Fall of Rome is just really different than the other pandemics. But it takes some of the things I like about Fall of Rome and puts it into this. So if I were to pick, Vanilla Pandemic or Iberia, well, those are the only two I really like that are the standalones besides Fall of Rome. This would be the top of my list. I think this is probably the best standalone that's not kind of weird and out there like Fall of Rome is. So honestly, I think that I would pick this up over the other ones on my shelf, and it actually may replace Iberia on my shelf just because I'm running out of room. But this is one that I think I would pick up. It plays quick, it's easy to pick up, it's easy to teach for multiplayer, it's fun solo, and there's a lot of variability into this where Iberia doesn't have quite as much variety. If you have played Pandemic before, you know what you're getting into. This is, even though the Pandemic system label is small on here, this is World of Warcraft Pandemic. If you like World of Warcraft, you're going to be in a treat. The minis are small except for the Lich King. I don't even know that I want to paint the small minis, but the Lich King is tempting because he's nice, big, and chunky, and he's just going to stand out. And he really doesn't have a purpose except to stand there and just look menacing. So I may paint him up, who knows. But they're good quality board game miniatures. And that brings us something that I don't typically talk about on the channel, and that's price, because what someone can and can't afford is subjective. But the purpose of the channel is to help you make an informed decision on games that you may or may not like and decide if they're right for you. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that at the point of this recording, this is a Target exclusive with an MSRP of $60, but Target has been selling it at $70. And that, if you love World of Warcraft, then that may be completely worth it to you. If you love Pandemic, then that may be completely worth it to you, because like I said, this may probably will become my go-to pull off the shelf and play Pandemic. But there's already pre-orders for this game in the $50 to $60 range, and I think once it's no longer an exclusive and it falls into maybe even the $45 range, I think that's probably where this game should sit. We took the legacy games out of the equation, but let's put them back in, because at $70 you can get Pandemic Legacy Season 1, Season 2, or Season 0. All three are fantastic experiences if you haven't played them, for the same price. And I feel like those hold, if you like Pandemic, though they don't have the World of Warcraft theming on it, but they have an experience that's unforgettable, and that's really, really cool. And I think that when you put those two together, again, I would be remiss if I didn't at least point that out. On top of that, you can get Vanilla Pandemic and 2 expansions. My favorites are In the Lab and State of Emergency, which have a lot of modular expansion capabilities that you can play with some, play with all of them, whatever you like the best. It just adds a lot more variety and a lot more depth to Vanilla Pandemic. You can get all 3 of those for about the same price, if not a little bit cheaper. So again, you have to figure out that value for you, if that's worth it. I bought it at the $70 price tag, and I don't feel like I got my money's worth out of this. I feel like I paid for the World of Warcraft and some decent miniatures. Again, they're good for board games, but they're not great. Not even so much that I want to paint the little hero ones. So yeah, I think that this is a great game. I think it's definitely should be, if you like the pandemic system, if you want a quick 45-minute go-to pandemic style game with an awesome theme, this is definitely worth the pickup. You just have to find the right price for you, and it may be worth waiting for. So all of that being said, if I made any mistakes or errors and missed anything, please leave those down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about the price point? What do you think about this version, seeing it played? Have you played it? What's your favorite pandemic game? I would love to know that in the comments below. And are you planning on picking this up? I would love to know that as well. Again, if I missed anything, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, share this video, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out and really helps spread around the love of board gaming. So that's all for this episode, and until next time, thanks for watching and happy gaming.